Hello.
Hello.
All right.
Excellent. First of all, you can, if you want to tell me like, okay, so this whole thing, yeah, that you do. So now you do it as a paid thing. The Reiki, they call it?
Reiki. I call it, Reiki, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. And then what else is there? There's other stuff.
Yeah, there's tarot. I didn't bring my cards today, I forgot.
No, it's okay.
I do tarot. I educate people on the metaphysical fields.
Yes.
Every which way form. So philosophical, the mind, the woo-woo, but we don't talk, I don't discuss the magic fee. There's enough people out there who do this.
Oh, okay.
So I have a boundary with that. But other than that, I have a machine that scans your body from your fingertips. And that tells you about your body on a subconscious, conscious level, like energy centers and yin yang meridians.
Okay. So let me tell you about my conflict. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's say from about 2015 to 2020. Okay. I was very duped into this idea of the modern Western lens of
New
things.
age, yeah.
Yeah. So like I used to see things like very empirically. So if there is no mainstream scientific evidence for something, then it's just a bunch of regressive BS. Okay. So anything that doesn't have any tangible scientific evidence. Then like I think 2020, I started to have a shift. For many reasons, a complete shift in my outlook. Okay, so when I seen you do like these paid sessions, of course I don't dismiss it. Okay, there must be stuff that is real, but then there is a small part of me that thinks like, is this really real, or is it like taking advantage of people?
Yes. No, not yes to that.
No, I don't actually think you're doing that. Okay, I know, I can tell, but there is a small part of me that thinks like, because obviously everything, all of this stuff that you mentioned, it's denounced in mainstream science, right? Like in the mainstream Western science.
Yes and no. Depending, it's subjective, right?
Yeah.
So depending on the scientist you speak to.
Yeah. So like even things like acupuncture, I know you don't do that, but
I don't do it. I get it done. Yeah.
You get it done.
Yes.
So things like, okay, how is it?
Amazing. I love acupuncture.
It's nice.
Over cupping any day.
Okay, cool. Another thing, cupping. Okay,
yeah.
Cupping is considered pseudoscience. What else? Even like, so like obviously we've all had that experience where like you remember somebody and then you walk into somewhere and then you see them.
Yeah.
So like synchronicity, telepathic communication, okay? Mainstream science considers this complete BS.
Of course, yeah.
But there's no way it's not real, right? It's all.
I agree. Yeah, there's evidence, right?
So
we're experiencing it.
So yeah, what's your take on it?
My take on it is, first of all, if you give something power, it'll be. Give it faith, give it a foundation.
Yeah.
And just to give you peace of mind, if someone doesn't benefit from my service, I do offer a refund.
Oh, wow.
I'm not doing this for money. I mean, I would love to do it for free.
Yeah.
But in this world, we have to have an exchange.
Of course.
And
that's amazing to know. I really appreciate that.
So I've had a few people be like, nothing. And I'm like, do you want your money back? I am willing. And they say, no, I took your time. So there's an exchange between us. I've actually had... in America, a session where it was like 5-10 minutes just to help release stress, which is what Reiki does.
Okay.
Remove stress from the body.
I've never done any of this, I've never done it.
You sure about it?
No, I'm
kidding.
No, I'm open to everything, but I've just never done it. Yeah.
But this guy was very skeptical. Okay. And all I did was put my hands on his shoulders.
Okay.
And that was it.
Okay.
And so for 5 minutes, my hands were on his shoulders and I kept thinking, this is BS. This is BS. This is BS. And then I would look around the whole room for no reason. I don't know why I'm looking around.
Okay.
When I was done, I told him I was done. And he's just sitting in a chair, by the way. And he opens his eyes. I said, what did you think? And he goes, no, what did you think? I said, I think you thought this was BS. And he started laughing. He said, yeah, I was thinking that. And then I thought,
he said that.
He said that. Like, yeah, I agree with you. I thought it was. And then I was wondering where you were because I couldn't see you. I was behind him. But he opened his eyes to look for me. And then I'm also looking. For no reason. Sometimes when I work with people, whatever emotions they have, because I feel for their aura, I feel for their centers, I feel for organs and joints. I sometimes release the emotion they won't release. So if I start to get emotional, I can tell their breathing has changed. And I have to remind myself, this is not mine. I'm going to cry for you because you won't cry right now. So yeah, it's helps to release stress. That's all it does. I'm not performing any miracles.
No, of course not.
But for example, if there is pain, sometimes when you relieve the stress that's associated with that, like your shoulder has to do with how you support your head, support your thinking. And that goes away sometimes permanently. SubhanAllah. I don't know. I'm not giving any other credit to higher power. I'm not claiming to be some kind of witch doctor, guru, healer. And it's illegal to call someone a healer.
It's illegal?
Yeah, there's no evidence.
It's illegal where? Here or
I believe everywhere.
It's illegal to call somebody a healer?
Like if I claim myself to be a healer, I could be sued, for example, in America.
Okay.
Because you have no evidence of healing. Medicine heals, pills heal, right? But holistic alternative does not heal because it goes against their agenda.
Very interesting.
It is interesting.
So this thing of like feeling for people's emotions, do you think we're all like that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Definitely.
So there's not a specific empath character?
No, some people are closed off to the thing. So for example, like when we met, if you were like, oh, I don't know, I don't feel good about this, I would immediately also doubt it.
Okay.
You know how you meet people and it just doesn't click? You have no explanation. And it's usually because our thoughts leak out of our heads, right? That's why you can think something and I could say it.
Yeah.
Or you think of someone and they reach out. Things leak. And the more you connect with someone, the more connected you are. So especially in a session, right? I'm connecting to them. So I know more than I would want to know, to be honest. But with anybody you meet, there's automatically an attraction or what is it called? Detraction? I don't know.
Detraction.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that only honestly has to do with the field and your frequency level. Everybody's different. No one's the same. So no matter what you believe, there is this law of attraction in the sense of...
It's undeniable, right?
Yeah, like attracts like, whether it is you think of a cucumber and then you go somewhere and the first thing you see is a cucumber, right? Or the first thing on Instagram is this. First of all, your thoughts affect your phone too. That's a frequency you're dealing with.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure you've thought of something you see on your phone.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you can explain how they're tapped into the voice side of our phones, and then you can, but the thought part.
No, you can't, right?
Yeah.
You literally cannot.
So it's very, okay, that's very cool. Yeah. Very interesting. I saw you posted a story. I mean, it must have been an old reel about how even mainstream scientists acknowledged that the energy, right?
A lot of scientists who were, very much, I'll call it the old ways, the traditional ways.
The traditional ways.
Experienced some things, including medical doctors that have experienced so many things with the human body or with their own experience that they've made them they get the ick from the traditional. There was a woman who worked for NASA. She worked for the aerospace things.
Okay.
And I don't remember what happened to her, but she got interested in this and she took up full on. There was this, I know about 2 medical doctors who have forsaken the traditional path of modern medicine to pursue this. And one of them actually healed themselves of a disease.
Like they're modern Western.
Yeah, modern Western, yeah.
Like style, fully. And wow.
And they would actually practice on their patients without them knowing. So one doctor, when you lay on the table, right, and they feel for you, whatever, like, does this hurt, right? Yeah. He would actually tell them to close their eyes, and he would put his hand over to feel how big their joint was, having the frequency of their joint. And they would ask them, "Are you having problems here?" And they say, "Yes." "How did you know? You didn't even touch me?" Another doctor, he would prescribe visualizations to his patients, like prescriptions. Do this many times a day for this long.
Okay.
And for example, if you have IBS, you imagine you're swallowing a mermaid.
Okay. By the way, I have very bad IBS, yeah?
Oh, okay.
IBS, acidity.
Okay.
It consumes...
How did I know?
Okay. I don't know. Are you taking credit for this one?
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, but it will be interesting to see how...
I'll send it to you if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, the visualizations. But they do this and they find relief over time.
Yeah. By the way, I suffer very badly. So if there's any way we can solve this, it really affects my productivity. Yeah. And that's another topic. So very cool. So why do you think that from your perspective, so these things are undeniable, right?
Yeah.
When you see you meet people, there is an aura, there is an energy, there is either positive or negative. There is synchronicity in the universe, right? You like we said, you know, it's undeniably true. You just have to be somewhat attuned, even slightly attuned, to know that okay. Like I mean, we can count dozens of examples, countless examples in our lives where like the other day, I had an event in Nizwa. What are the odds, okay, that I'll end up in an event in Nizwa? I thought of the most random person, okay, that I've met like twice, okay? And I just wanted to check, okay, do I still have this guy's number on my phone? I get there to Nizwa and I see him. Like, what is all this like? Like we are one.
I agree. Yeah, totally.
You know,
Totally.
like it's anyway. So why is it that all these things, yeah, even what mainstream science calls alternative medicine, they consider it pseudoscience, yeah? It's alternative medicine. And then there's telepathy, there's many things, cupping, there's a lot of things that traditional civilizations were accepted as a matter of fact. But why is it that now the mainstream Western lens of science really denounces these things? Why do you think?
Well, I don't think I've seen CIA documents that they were trying to get people off of natural things and onto these little things they made called pills.
Okay.
So they even changed the environments in the US to mimic that, taking out the female trees so that replacing them with male. So there's more pollen, allergies go up. They tell you don't trust your plants, take this medicine.
Okay.
So allergies go up, everybody's illness goes up. And the more you keep, like placebo, right? This doesn't work. Do this works. Like American Medical Association was only formed in 1920.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So like there wasn't pills before then, right? Just to give you an example.
There were no pills before the 1920s.
Yeah, it was like herbal stuff.
Everything.
It was all herbal. Everybody was using medicine from their garden.
Yeah.
You know?
I heard like even in pharmacies, you would sell coca leaves and stuff like normally, right?
You go to herbal shop, but they won't sell nowadays. No,
of course not. Yeah.
You know, like most of it is like an elderberry gummy that has like sugar and.
So it's basically what you're saying is so that like it's to create a profitable pharmaceutical industry.
Definitely a big pharma, right?
Big pharma.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, big pharma. It's all about money.
So is that the main reason behind all this?
I think so, and they don't want you to trust yourself. They want to take power from you. It's about perspective, right?
So this is something I always found fascinating. And I don't know how people are not, aware of this, but it's very obvious that there is, whoever you want to call them, there is something behind that. There is an elite power out there, or influential people who are limiting human potential from reaching its potential. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, and with these kind of topics, I always find it very interesting to see how our tradition, like our Islamic tradition, has a tie into this. Yeah. And I found something very fascinating the other day. It was literally like 2 days ago. So I'm not fully convinced that technology is a good thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you agree with this?
I agree with this.
So, like, it's a fact. It's unavoidable. I'm not trying to say now we should, destroy all technology, because it's an unavoidable part of our lives, and we have to utilize this tool. Yeah, fair. But in its essence, I don't think it's a good thing. And then people are going to be like, oh, technology, and it makes what we used to need years to do, we can do in minutes, and things are much faster. But there's a couple of flaws with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, again, the modern Western empirical lens of things is that the rapidness and speed of acceleration is the measure of productivity, right?
True. When
pre-modern traditional civilizations, development and growth is measured by the inner, the overcoming the ego, of
course, yeah,
and all of that, right? So it's a completely different perspective. And also, who's to say that we really need technology for all these things? What if they've just put us into this matrix that we need this stuff. Like, you know, again, going back to telepathic communication. Do I really need my phone to communicate with you? I mean, every traditional civilization, and this, to a lot of people, this might sound crazy. I don't know who this is going to go out to, but, and I can't prove this 100%. It's literally mostly my intuition. I've had this conviction for a couple of years. Pre-modern civilizations, they were in touch with their ancestors. They were in touch with their family members. You know how twins, they feel for each other.
Yeah, definitely.
So all of that is just, they're stripping us away from us being able to be attuned to these things. And you know what really reaffirmed this? So I'm tying it all back. The Islamic lens of it.
Okay.
So the Arabic word hatif for telephone existed long before telephones existed.
Okay.
Thousands of years before. And it was basically, the word hatif was used in the Arabic language for communication that is like heard but not seen.
Oh.
So, through spiritual insight.
How interesting.
So hearing through, or communication through spiritual insight. So the word hatif was basically telepathic communication before it was modern telecommunication.
Yeah, that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
That is a crazy fact. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
On that?
Yeah. I mean, I said too much already.
I know, no. I'm here to listen, but
yeah.
At the same time, that is insane.
That's cool, no?
You know, and like, I do believe that, like, mind you, my opinion, perspective,
please.
right?
Yeah.
And a lot of things are, even in our religion more than culture, because culture gets in the way sometimes of how we think. But there is evidence for all these abnormalities of these, what's the word to use? Like, you know, spiritual, telepathic things.
Yeah.
You know, like the fact that we, unlike any other beings, any other creations, have more abilities, like we have more capabilities in a way. In the sense of, again, not every animal can communicate the way we communicate. And then like twins or whatever. Yeah, animals have their instincts, but they're very instinctual. They're, if anything, they've been ripped from their habitats.
Absolutely.
We've domesticated them, right?
Yeah.
I think technology has domesticated us. We are sheeple.
Yes.
We listen to Instagram before we trust ourselves. We see a video. This reading is for you. If you came across this, listen here. Today, you're going to get 1,000 riyals, right? Something crazy. And then people get upset when it doesn't happen. It's like, that was an interpretation. That was this, that was that. Right. But the point is that people now rely, they have more conviction. They trust their phone. They worship it.
Yeah.
It's definitely, first thing you do, you wake up, you grab your phone. You stay on your phone. You know what I mean? And it's really disconnecting you from your instinct. It's disconnecting you from your body, your mind, your soul, I would even say. For example, a lot of people don't realize, but they have problems in their midriff area because their phone is always there, whether it's a purse, a pocket.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter. There is radiation. There is a frequency being emitted that kills your body slowly. If anything, your eyes are damaged by it. And the eyes have to do with how we perceive life in a metaphysical sense. So if you have eye problems, it's about how you're perceiving your life and how that's affecting you. So fun fact. But I do believe that technology is harmful. Yes. But again, it's good, but it's bad. Blessing and a curse, right?
Yes.
And at the same time, everybody's in a hurry now. Everybody wants cheap dopamine. Like, I believe no one's going to watch this full.
No.
They're going to like...
I think I have very little hope of how many people will watch. Like if
I got you in the way.
Yeah. No, I trust you, but I mean that's not what this is about.
No,
anyways.
I know.
This
I'm
is
just saying
more valuable. Yeah.
I'm just saying that people now subscribe to cheap dopamine. If something is not 10 seconds long, they don't want it.
Yeah.
If they can't even focus for 3 seconds, their brain is obviously undeveloping. Focus develops your prefrontal cortex.
Okay.
Quite literally, the more you can focus, the more your brain develops, the more neural pathways you create, and the more you can be in flow state and effortlessness. No force. You just do. And you don't even know time has passed. Like we drive home, right? If we're not on our phone, we're just driving. You wonder how you get home sometimes, right?
Yes.
Or how you got to a place that you've been to many times.
Yes, of course.
And that would have to do with the fact you're in flow state.
Flow state.
It's subconsciously, that subconscious programming.
Absolutely.
And you can drive. So your self-belief is like, yeah, I know I can drive. I know I can get here. I've been here many times. Right? So your brain is working together. But then we go on our phones. I tell my clients, If anything, if you're going to use social media, watch every single video you come across start to finish, even if it's an ad. Even if, not to promote the ad or that content, but to train yourself to go against your ego that I don't like this, I don't like that, I'm not interested.
That's very interesting.
Make your ego bored. Don't entertain it.
Yeah.
You know, that's just one thing I tell people. But at the same time, it's
very cool.
Humans have proven to themselves time and time again they're capable of more. And the people who doubt it, of course, shoot them down. And then we trust that doubt because it feeds our ego that we're not enough, or that, of course, no one's going to like this. Keep in mind, when I started doing this, I was scared poopless. In other words, to say I was not comfortable at all in Oman doing this. Okay.
Yeah.
I was, my family, for example, didn't like it, didn't agree. My friends were like, yeah, try it. Let's see how it goes. Again, very doubtful at the same time. Okay. But of course, as people see you grow, right, they see the success that comes a little bit with the path that you are proving to yourself. And then you project that into the world and the world reflects that back to you. Right? When you trust yourself and you be authentic, everybody else starts to subscribe because like I should have not doubted, or she proved me wrong, for example, So it's very much, I think life is a mental game.
It is. You
don't see with your eyes, you see with your brain. Your eyes just take some light.
This is very interesting, Mama. Yeah. So, like when all of this happened, like when you started doing this, you felt that there was a market for it in Oman?
I know Omanis are really interested in magic, to say like that. That's their first thing, right? If it's not science and it's not medical, it's magic. Okay. If I can't see it, it's magic. Okay. But there's also other people who tie in religion into energy. Okay. Right?
Of course.
Right? So it's
inseparable. It's inseparable, yeah.
I agree. For example, I would say you don't always need a tool for something to manifest. Okay. Right? We can think of a bad situation until it happens. You can think badly about someone and they get hasad, right? You talk about them, right? So everybody thinks that magic is everything. To me, witchcraft has to be that you have tools. It's lower level magic. And just to give whoever's watching this, I actually worked in a witchcraft store for like 3-4 years in America.
Oh, excellent.
I was the only person who didn't subscribe, but I had to learn to sell product. Okay. So I'm convincing people they needed stuff.
Okay.
And I'm totally against that. Like I don't need a tool.
So why did you what made you do that? Like
nothing. They approached me
for the experience. Like
I mean the experience, right? You learn on the job, right?
Yeah, of course.
And at the same time, it's a metaphysical center. But what they did was you don't apply there; they pick you.
Okay.
And so they found out I was studying metaphysics. Everyone studies witchcraft there. I came in for the metaphysical, Deepak Chopra, the Barbara Brennan, the more sciencey, the more mental, less put this and this together and you get this, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, are you interested? And I was like, oh, me? I'm not white. I'm not Christian or raised Christian, right? I'm not a 60-year-old person. Everybody who worked there was between the ages of like 35 and 60, 70, right? And it's a team of like 7 people. I'm the youngest. I'm the foreign. I was raised Muslim. All these things. It bit me a little bit, like, not in a good way.
Yeah.
A lot of people were envious. Older women were envious of me. They wanted to work there and stuff like that. But, again, I don't like telling people they need something. Hatta when somebody comes for tarot, I will be like, do you really need it though? Do you really need Reiki or do you just need to get your mind right? Yeah. Right? If you're so emotional, add logic to interrupt that emotional pattern. Don't dismiss your emotion, but cut off that overthinking, cut off that pattern. And again, if I were to tell someone, don't buy a rose quartz, just project it into the world, what you want, right? Okay. Trust, have conviction with your action, with your thinking, have faith. Okay. I would get like a little bit of like, you need to sell stuff. Like you're here to sell product, so I would have to, people come in like, how do I give an offering to Aphrodite? I don't know. You know what I mean? I have to go figure it out from a coworker. To tell them stuff.
So, like, what does it entail? Like all this witchcraft. Like,
what does it entail? I think
it's a witchcraft store.
Basically, it's a metaphysical center, but their aim is the craft.
Like witchcraft, actual witchcraft.
Yeah, there's many different lineages, right? But basically, the tools. There's a difference between magic and witchcraft. Okay. Magic is conviction. It's your energy strong enough, your frequency. You don't need things. You command it and so it will be. Witchcraft is Okay, if I want to feel loved, I'm going to get a pink candle and rose quartz, and I'm going to do a little something and hope it works. Like it's hopeful thinking.
That's witchcraft.
Witchcraft is tools.
Okay.
True magicians don't need to do anything. Things just happen. You know, you have the tools already. You know how to act. You know how to move to make things happen.
But all of magic is bad or no?
The will is what matters the most. The inner will, your intention. So again, we don't intend to hurt people, but the outcome can be hurtful.
But so there is like, I mean, I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, I can tell.
But there is like white magic and...
Yes. So again, there is a line, right? But it's also a gray area because you can easily fall into the black magic and you can easily fall into the white. So again, your will, if you're doing something with the intention of harming or ending up in harm, طبعاً, of course, you're going to end up hurting people. But again, law of karma, it comes right back to you. So I know people who have done things with magic to bad people and end up with lupus, end up with diseases, like they end up with dis-ease in their body.
But they're doing it like against bad people.
Not necessarily. Somebody hurt someone. They didn't like that. So F them. And I'm going to mess you up. And yeah, something bad happens to them. And guess what?
This was here in Oman.
I mean, it happens in Oman, but it also happens there. It's worldwide.
It happens everywhere, yeah.
You know, even if we think badly about other people, they feel it. And at some point, it's going to come back to us at some point. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the law of nature.
Yeah.
Things come around. But, you know?
So with the witchcraft side, what do they use? Like what kind of stuff do they use?
Everything on earth.
Yeah, like
everything man-made and natural. Quite literally.
And they like mix stuff and then they
make an altar. Like you have a space dedicated, like you have a sajjada to pray, right?
Yeah.
So you have a sacred space to use it in.
So it's it's like it comes from, so there, like you said, there's different lineages and they're kind of like a religious the religious traditions.
In a sense, yeah.
They're kind of like religions.
Yeah. Let's call it religions. Yeah.
It is.
You could call it. They have faith. They have belief. They believe in, like a lot of them that are very strong. When I say strong, like very developed.
Okay.
They believe in like the angels, like the angels that we have in Islam.
Okay.
So they believe in these things, except they also give power to other things except one God.
So
that's why I'm like against witchcraft. You're giving power to a rock. You're giving power to an herb. You're giving power to a candle. You're giving power to this.
Okay.
That's why I'm yani.
But are they all evil or no?
No, not everybody's bad. Again, are you and I evil?
Everybody has good and evil.
I know, yeah. It's a polarity. Not really, but
this is.
I'm not trying to teach anybody, huh? Like how to do stuff. That's why I'm.
And then what happened? So
I worked there.
But they chose you. You didn't find it weird? Like,
I did, of course. I had to learn something that was out of my realm of anything.
But you just went for the experience, or you just found it intriguing, or
it is, yeah, of course it is.
It's intriguing.
If I know someone doesn't like me and I can sense I can feel something.
Okay.
I kind of know, especially in America, if they're in that community, right? Okay. I kind of would have an idea of what they were doing.
Okay.
You know, I look at books to refer to customers. I read about things, and then they say this and this is a result of this, and I'm like, oh, interesting, right? I learned how to cleanse people of evil eyes, for example, from a Zoroastrian sense, right? So Iran, they have their own traditions, right? Yeah. And it's very affirmation based, very cool. And like bukhur, you know,
and,
like
and fire is very important, right?
Hell yeah.
Like, but I know with the Zoroastrian. There's a common myth that they worship fire, which they don't.
I have no idea. I didn't go that deep into it.
Oh, okay. No, I mean, I found it very interesting. I mean, there's also a lot of parallels with the Islamic tradition. It's actually also they also have like a one God.
Yeah.
But part of their practice is like. I mean, it's been ages since I've delved into it. I don't have time anymore, but
I understand.
I find this stuff very cool.
Yes.
So I think they use fire as a form of cleansing.
Yes. I mean, as do we, right?
Yeah.
In the sense of we take fire, we burn a piece of charcoal. Yeah. Where's the source of it?
Yeah.
Heat, right? And then the smoke, then you get air.
Yeah, it's undeniable. The
everything is cleansing. Sorry.
Yeah, of course. It's
all the elements are cleansing elements.
Yeah. So interesting. And about this, the era that we live in, that we were talking about earlier, the short attention span.
Yes.
Yeah, and the distraction. Another thing I saw, within the same time that I saw the whole Hatif thing, you know, the word distracted up until 200 years ago in the Western world was basically used for mentally ill.
That's
Yeah.
I would agree.
So I think there was a hospital in England or in America. I can't remember, but I'm sure of this. Yeah, the something hospital for the incurably distracted.
That is so funny.
Yeah,
That makes sense though.
and now they've got us all distracted.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. How many people get things done, you know? Okay, just one more video, one more reel, one more this.
By the way, you know, I'm not a fan of this whole social media stuff.
I agree.
Yeah, but I do it. I do it, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost my bread and butter now. I mean, and it's helped me. I mean, I have to post regularly because my background is sales. I mean, like, if you're gonna if you have a product or a service and you're gonna approach people and approach companies one-to-one, it's good. It's essential, but the power of marketing, especially digital marketing, is so much more powerful. It's undeniable. Like the amount of inquiries. So digital marketing is important, but it's a shame that I have to succumb to all of that. Because first of all, magic with a small m, not the capital M, yeah? The art of magic, yeah? Which is what I do, which doesn't involve any supernatural.
All right.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. It involves very, natural physical means, yeah?
Yes.
And psychological. All of that is not meant to be filmed.
I agree.
It's not meant for short form content.
I agree, yeah.
Nor long form for that matter. It's meant to be experienced live. It's meant to be in the moment, spontaneous, engaging, and the first-hand experience. It's kind of similar to music. At least with music, if you listen to it amped up in your car, you'll get somewhat of the experience. But you've been to concerts, yeah? It's incomparable, yeah?
Yes.
Like when you experience music live, as you said, the aura, the energy, and by the way, all art is very sacred and divine. I really believe this. And music is very divine. Music is, wow. So like music, higher vibrational frequency music, yeah? There's obviously music that you can tell is very low vibration frequency.
It's helpful though.
Yeah, I guess. but so my point is like, the fact that I had to kind of like make it into a short form, make sure I cut down all my videos, a lot of the natural human comments, and then sum it down to a under 2-minute video. It's just something I had to do.
Yeah.
You know, if it were up to me, if it wasn't for the purely looking at it from a commercial business perspective to drive more reach and engagement, I would have all of my content on YouTube. Yeah. And it would be like, let's say I'm performing at an event, yeah? Or I'm just at an event, or even in a public spot in Muscat. It would just be a 45-minute video of A to Z of like me up from the point of approaching a group, maybe getting rejected by a group who doesn't want to see any show, and then going to another group, and the entire conversation and engagement and everything I perform for them, and just be like this long form content that's very human.
Yeah.
Okay. If it was up to me, that's how I'd love it to be. But will that sell? No. Will that get reach? Will that?
No.
It won't.
I understand.
So,
I did want to ask you,
yes.
What is your discipline approaching what you do in the sense of your pre, during, and post? Like, what is your mentality? What is your process? How do you trust the instinct when you? I'm not saying give away your tips and tricks, right? But like, I've seen videos where you're like, okay, think of a person, what you want to say to them, right? And I know you do, like, again, like you said, body language, right? Psychology, but it's like, how do you trust what you know and giving a affirmative answer?
So it's never a fully affirmative. There's always a chance that it goes wrong, yeah? And there are times that it does go wrong, which I don't post.
Of course, yeah.
But I don't know. But I think I'm thinking to do a compilation of blooper type, or like where things go wrong, like a compilation of that.
Makes you human.
Yeah, it has to be done very soon. Yeah, it's in the pipeline. But in this craft, there's a thing called multiple outs. Yeah. So because I'm driving the narrative, yeah, you think that there's only one. So you see the whole routine or the effect. So we don't use the word trick. That's a very, I mean, anybody, you can use whatever you want. I'm not trying to sound pretentious, but really it's called an effect. So you see the entire effect, but you think that's the only way it's going to go down. But me, because you as the participant or the audience member, you don't know what to expect. Like if I approach you to perform an effect, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know the end result, right? But I do, and I know the ways it can go. So I know that, okay, multiple outs is like if you go A, I go A with you. If you go B, I go B. If you go C, I have to go C with you. But then the final outcome, you think that's the only way it could have gone down. But depending on the interaction, it could have gone down a different path where I have a multiple out. And then there's a best case scenario, which is what I'd aim for. And then there's a middle ground scenario, which is good. And then sometimes it's the least, but it's still an impressive effect. As far as the process
of like trusting your process.
I mean, you just gotta do it, right? You just gotta do it. But so to give you like a bit of background, like this is something I started when I was 12.
Yeah. No way.
Yeah. And it was and I have another friend who does this. Yeah. He doesn't really do it anymore. But we caught up for the first time in years. And then we both agreed that there's no way, like we'd wake up now at 26 and be like, let me get into magic. So there's no way that would happen. The only reason is, as a kid, I found it fascinating.
Of course.
And then my mom was very supportive. She bought me a few very professional courses from like world leading magic consultants, who were consultants for like the big guys, David Blaine and all that. And I learned it. And when you learn something as a kid, yes, you get rusty, but khalas, it's drilled in your DNA.
Of course, yeah.
So, and then at like 14, I lost interest. And then every few years, like I'll have a short stint where I'll get back into it. Then I'm like, I'll leave this. But again, as cheesy as it sounds, I say this, it chose me. I didn't choose it. It's not like I have a huge love and passion for it. I mean, when we have those moments with people, yeah, it's amazing. But then at times you feel like you're just a circus monkey, So
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was what happened. And then now earlier this year was like, there was no chance to escape it. I had to translate whatever sales skills I learned. And then.
So you only started this year?
Yeah.
Or 2025?
2025. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 2025. And I opened the Instagram page in September.
Of 2025?
Yes.
MashaAllah.
But yeah. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Wow. That's insane.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy, isn't it?
Trust it. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love that you moved to that conviction.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
you do know.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I can't really think about it too much. And then like a lot of the times I'd be very busy. So ideally I would plan my sets, before. But like I'll have a set of, routines that I'd rotate across different groups if I'd go to an event. But then there's not really much time for that, is there? Right? I mean, like if I'm very busy with an event, like before, like sometimes I'll be moving from work and family commitments and then an event, I'll have to just wing it when I'm there. But because I know the routines, they're so drilled, like, alhamdulillah, it's not like I have to like stress so much. Like the skill is there and it's something you practice as you keep doing.
Yeah, it's subconscious.
Yeah, it's a what?
It's like subconsciously ingrained.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, that's
crazy. So I have another question.
Yes.
If you ever do feel like you've fallen off your game, right?
Yeah.
What do you do? Because this is not like, again, you're not doing something physical, right? Yeah. It's something very much mentally, again, it's, you're using your hands, but you're not like an athlete running and jumping and, playing a sport. So
I don't know. I don't really think about all that.
You don't?
I just do. Just do what I do.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now I'm just thinking how to scale as a business and then balance with other ventures and then just keep doing.
Okay.
Like, I don't think, oh, if I fall off my game, I'm going to do this. No, I just keep doing.
Okay. I mean, like, for example, if you're in a trick and then it doesn't go how you would expect it to go, right?
Oh, okay.
Like, how do you get back up?
It could just fail and then you move to the next. Okay, which it happens sometimes. Or as I said, you come up with a multiple out with a backup thing, and I think that's how it was going to go down. But it's not the ideal scenario. So that's it. Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Yes. And and with yourself. So for me, like metaphysics or whatever is very, very cool. Like, I'm very interested in this world. Yeah, I'm not an expert.
Neither am I.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I like the metaphysical angle of things. Okay. So what's your journey with all this? Like, so you did a master's in metaphysics?
Yes, in metaphysical science.
Metaphysics, is that considered a real science? Like in the
it's more it's applied philosophy, applied theory versus strictly philosophy. So it's applying all that. Right, so having to walk
it's within the tree, within the umbrella of
it's philosophy. Yeah, metaphysics is philosophy. Yeah, so like metaphysical philosophy is basically consciousness. It's about like, consciousness for
consciousness.
One. It's about the mind. It's about the mind-body connection. It's literally about everything you can't see. Right, so if you can describe what your brain is, how can you say your mind is here? Yeah. You can't open your skull and find your mind.
And also the nature of reality beyond the physical realm.
Yes.
Like.
Yeah. And again, subjective experiences and objective, right? Yeah. So like, again, it's really about everything you cannot see.
Yeah.
Meta, meaning beyond.
Yes.
Physics in Greek, right? Meaning nature or physical, the world. So anything beyond physical is what metaphysics is. Mm-hmm. People think I'm a scientist in a lab.
No,
when I say metaphysics, they think I'm sciencey, like, doing stuff. I was like, no.
Yes, of course.
I'm just talking to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had a physical experience that pushed me into it, and I doubted it. No way, this is anything legit. But again, it's like at some point, God keeps showing you something, and you can't ignore it.
Of course.
God, it's like, hello. Look at me. Right? Yeah. It's like, I don't want to look at you right now. Yeah. And I finally looked into it, and I just tunnel vision.
It was the path, right?
Yeah. And then, I was told to do other things. I was like, and I've learned more about myself on this than like I said, I was doing accounting.
Oh,
I loved accounting.
You like accounting?
I love accounting.
You want to be my accountant?
No, I don't. First of all,
I need an accountant.
No, I didn't go through with it. That's the thing. I didn't go through with that degree.
So, you didn't? You left it?
I left it. I got halfway done. Okay. I did 50% of the work. Okay. And then I said, nah. And I restarted something completely different.
Oh, wow.
And then I kept going in that way. So my dad thinks I have a business degree on top of all this.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I don't.
But you've just leaked this information out to the world.
But it's done. Khas. What are you going to do about it? Nothing.
It's not my fault, huh?
I mean, I have all these, accreditations, credentials that you get distracted with everything. You can't find what you're looking for.
Anyway, you have nothing to worry about. If anything goes wrong, just call that witchcraft store.
Oh, no.
Hook you up.
I got other people.
Yeah. Okay. So, very cool. One thing that's interesting, is the kind of like paradox about this, right? The metaphysics, because as you said, in a sense, it's a philosophy, But the whole concept of metaphysical reality is that it's not something that you can theorize mentally, right? It's all about your firsthand experience.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but also something to keep in mind is that we deal with metaphysical things in hospitals.
Okay.
So all the MRI machines, ultrasounds.
Okay.
You can't see with your naked eye. So brain scans are metaphysical machine. Like all those machines that are something beyond the skin.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Yeah. I mean, yes, but is.
So it's not necessarily only theory.
Okay.
You can take it into a scientific, again, metaphysical science.
Science, yeah.
So in a scientific way, whether it's quantum physics or quantum principles or even quite literally biology, right? You don't know till you dissect it, but then there's something beyond your eye. So like a cell, right? And how atoms move and whatnot. Technically, you cannot see an atom.
No.
Right? Technically. Yes, with a specific machine, you can see it. right? But again, it's so much more deeper, because when you can see that, you understand how things operate in life. And if everything is kind of the same, not same, but made of the same things, right? Everything behaves the same. Everything has the same science behind it. I made 5 million reels about this, so I'm trying not to repeat myself.
No. Very cool.
So, I mean, yes, theory, metaphysical science is applied theory.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So I respect all walks of life. You come to me as this, that, the other. I respect what you do, but at the end of the day, we're all humans. Our brains kind of operate the same unless there's something else going on in there. And ABCDFG is what usually works, and we can adjust it to you, to your belief, to your philosophy, to your way of life, to your schedule, to your habits, routines.
Okay.
You know, and usually what I give, I tell them, don't take what I say as it is, adjust it, tweak it. You know, even if I give you advice, tweak that advice to what suits you.
Like, don't take it as a set in stone rule.
No, who am I? Who am I? You came from me for knowledge. I say, yeah, here's the knowledge, edit it. Okay. Take it and do something with it besides exactly this. Because again, what works for me won't work for you.
So what's the best thing you can help people with your like coaching or whatever?
A lot of things. I cannot.
You can't summarize it. Like, you can't. Like,
I mean, if anything,
you can't reduce it.
I can. Everything starts with the mind, with the brain. So I start with anybody from like what's going on in your head.
Okay.
I will never, someone, for example, tells me I want Reiki for stress relief. Okay. The first place I'm starting is the top of their head. I want to see what is going on. What is your belief, your philosophy, your conviction? What is your faith? What is in your mind? What do you believe of yourself? And as I move throughout their body, for example, like this is Reiki, right? Yeah. They don't have to say anything. They lay on my table and say absolutely nothing. I scan for what's blocked.
They don't say anything.
They don't have to.
Okay.
They literally can just lay there, say, hi, how are you? Okay. I tell them what to do and not to do, which is, again, just don't cross your body off. Okay. Because even if you sit like this, you can block energy off. In body language, right? You're closed off to that person.
But that's why a bit earlier I was doing that, and then I was like, no, let me not do that. But I'm not closed off.
No, I'm not reading into it. Yeah.
No, I know. But I just, it's a comfort thing. But then I avoid doing it because I know that it can give that energy off.
Yeah.
And also, I worked for like 10 months as a waiter. Yeah, part-time.
Interesting.
Yeah. And when I was living in Cardiff. So
that's an experience.
My very first shift, I was at it was a hospitality agency. So basically it's an agency. They sign you as a part-time and you move from like from venue to venue. So one of the days I was the first shift, actually I was at I think Giovanni's Italian restaurant. Okay. So I stood like this, and then the Italian manager or whatever, he said, hey, don't do like this. He said, always do like this or like this. This means you are a prison guard.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So interesting. So ever since then, it was like so drilled, like,
Yeah. Interesting. I wasn't taught that way. I was taught, if you want to protect your energy, cross your body off.
Okay.
Cross your legs, cross your arms, cross everything. It wasn't ever like out of respect or how you're presented. It's literally for self-protection.
Yeah.
So how interesting. That's how you got your experience with that.
Yeah, very interesting.
I mean, life tells you, right?
Yeah. But now it's just like so drilled in.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
It's like like when somebody like tells you about something and it just becomes so like, it's like drilled. Like I remember when I was like in grade 7, I went out with my friend, okay, and he's a guy, okay, and we went to a restaurant, and then I sat in front of him. And then he said, no, don't do that. We were kids. So he said, no, don't do that. Sit this way, because here it looks like we're on a date. So ever since then, like anytime I go one-to-one, I go out one-to-one with a male especially, I make sure to not sit like directly in front of them.
That's so funny.
Just because of that. Like, but I mean, it's not like I consciously fear it. It's just, I don't know. It just, it became a thing.
Yeah, of course. It's stuck. It's programmed.
And then like... So like I think I was like in 2nd grade or 3rd grade. A friend of mine said, okay, show me your nails. And then I was like, I did this, and he said, no, that's feminine, don't do that, this is for girls. And then I said, so what am I supposed to do? He said, you got to do it this way. Yeah. So ever since then, like, you saw a part of me is like, okay, don't do this, do this.
Well, I'm gonna tell you now. If you see nails on Instagram, they're like this.
Go like this.
Girls do this now.
Oh yeah, true. You see, so I saw.
Tell BS.
And then there was a time when blue was more feminine and pink was more masculine.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Like, for me, in my experience with especially the crossing of the body off, I was told whenever I do tarot or any kind of energy thing, do not cross I cross my legs a lot. Okay. I can't just sit.
It's sometimes just a comfort thing.
It is,
right?
but the idea is you're crossing and blocking off the pathways of energy.
Yeah.
Right. So your energy is not moving because energy leads through your feet. Hence why they say go out and ground barefoot, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, for your circadian rhythm or to ground yourself. But
grounding. I definitely believe in grounding, like walking barefoot in the sand. Yeah. You reminded me, I got to do more of that.
Me too, actually. Yeah. I'm starting tomorrow. But, with that, I've literally had to reprogram my brain. Like, if my intention isn't to block my energy off, nothing's wrong. I just cannot help sitting like this. So there's like a shame mentality behind like sitting cross-legged for me. You know, and also like disrespectful in some cultures, right?
Yeah, I know what
so it's mean. Like I keep trying to like whatever. Yeah, so it's just my brain.
Yeah.
I think it's a girl thing also.
No. You're good. You know, you mentioned the tarot thing, yeah? You're into tarot a lot or no?
It's the one way. I guess it's how I make money in Oman. Yeah. So I have to be. Yeah.
So it's popular in Oman.
Oh, extremely.
Yeah.
Extremely.
But with women
and men.
And men too.
Hell yeah.
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 Straight men.
Yes, Omani men. All my clients are Omanis, by the way.
Oh, very cool.
Oh, Omanis are into this.
And they require. I know. I've heard a few women being into it, but no.
No men. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. So okay. So we'll talk about this. I don't know anything about tarot. Yeah, like I really, honestly, I don't. But remember when I was telling you that I had my shift in my phase where like I went from seeing things in a very Western scientific lens to being more open to, other perspectives. So there was this one time I met this girl. Okay, I think I can say her name is fine. Her name is Celine. She's a French girl. She was living in the student accommodation which I was living in, and I was, it was open as me being open. She said my dad does tarot reading. Oh, okay, cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're from a part of France, like a very like a rural part of France, and obviously pre-modern Western Europe also had all these traditions, right? So I said, okay, let's do it. So we did an online meeting with her dad. I barely remember any of it, but it was very interesting. And it was me being open. But there's one thing that didn't make sense then, but it really stuck with me. He pulled out a card and it was like a horse with many heads. Okay. I don't know what kind of tarot.
There's different artwork.
I know there's different kinds of tarot. Yeah. So he said, Qasim, you're going to keep thinking that you're only meant to do this one thing. You think you're going to keep doing this one thing, but you are, as much as you try to resist it, you are not meant to do one thing. You're meant to do, I see you doing many different things at the same time.
Can you tell you the card name or no?
No, I don't remember.
It's a Knight of Wands?
I don't know, but
interesting.
But that resonates now so much, especially in the past year.
Yeah, I'll be very honest. When I do tarot here, first of all, fortune telling and prediction of the future is is illegal in Oman. Okay. No matter what form you do it in, but of course it's more popular in card form.
Yes.
Tarot. So whenever I meet people, I tell them I'm only clarifying, confirming your thoughts, your beliefs, your energy. And I say, if it happens or doesn't happen, it's not my fault. Because they will interpret it as past, present, future, or things to come. And for example, I'll do readings for people in like 2 weeks or a couple months time. They will say, hey, by the way, everything you said happened.
Yeah.
How the hell am I supposed to know? Right? Like I'm just telling you what's in front of me.
Yeah.
Right? There's an interaction between us. I pull and I don't ask them, like, for example, you go for coffee readings in Turkey. I've heard many stories. The woman or the person giving your reading will ask you a bunch of questions about you.
Yeah.
And tie all those answers into your cup. Okay. So again, I don't harvest information before I do it. If you want to talk afterwards, cool.
Okay.
That's fine, I guess, if there's time, right?
Yeah.
But if not, I just say, how are you? You're good? Let me know when you want to stop. Okay. It's on your time. Okay. And I've had, for example, I give a girl a reading in September. She wanted it for the year of her birthday, like the months coming up. Hey, just so you know, don't come after me if it doesn't happen. Right. So I checked on her in January this year.
Okay.
And I said, hope you're doing well, you know, just checking in. And she was like, SubhanAllah, you reached out because I just did something. And what you told me would happen in January not only happened, but it was like advice. And I do tarot through advice. It's not prediction. So like based off of the cards, I will tell you the advice behind the card. Right?
Can you give me like an example?
So for her, her January was the Judgment card, which is a major life theme. When you see the in tarot, like a title, it's a theme. It's a big energy. Okay. When you see numbers, king, queen, all this, right? Minor cards, those are daily.
Okay.
Right. So there's 2 different groups and it's like 78 cards or something like that.
78.
Just to understand. So I have to memorize. And you can use playing cards, actually.
You can use playing cards for tarot, yeah? Yeah, I've heard of a thing like this.
Yeah, it's called like Gypsy Tarot or something.
Gypsy Tarot.
So
and apparently I heard a thing that the jinn like playing cards. I don't know.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, but I met a guy even recently, also in the most random scenario. It reminds me that I would like to speak with him again. He was a very cool, and I didn't expect it from him. He was like very quiet, and then suddenly he starts talking about all these metaphysical things, but he's more into numerology.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yes.
And when he took my cards, he knocked on them.
Yeah,
first.
Some people do that. Some people blow on their cards. Some people don't let anybody touch them.
Which is like to kind of like get rid of the person.
Clear, yeah.
I don't know, it's cool.
It's like he's waking up like cigarettes, right?
Yeah.
Waking it up.
So go on, yeah. So what were you saying? So like, okay.
So she got the Judgment card and then she got the 8 of Swords, which is basically about self-imprisonment through your thoughts.
Okay.
There's lack of logic and all emotion and you're blinding yourself and you're like trapping yourself in this way of thinking that does not serve you. And mind you, I'm telling her this could be shame. This could be you judging yourself really hard, but you have to get yourself out of this loop. And she couldn't understand it then. But in January, or I think end of December, early January, she did this like interview and it was posted and she said she kept checking on it. She kept looking to see what the comments were, what the algorithm, like what the analytics were. She was so nervous about it and nothing negative came, but she like got herself in a spiral, stuck in this like negative loop, right? So she was like, it was so crazy that you advised me to like wake up. The Judgment card is about realizing, waking up, acting on it. Like, don't just sit there like, oh, okay. Like do something about your thinking with what you know now with this realization. And she was just like, when I looked back at the reading and saw that, I was like, holy shit. You know what I mean? She was like dumbfounded by like, she's right in the sense like the cards are right. You know, and I told her like, at least you caught it before it like really got to you, you know? So I don't like telling people what's going to happen. I've seen some really bad things. And then I don't want to tell them what intuitively comes because it's like, I don't want to scare people. I'm not trying to do like fear and prediction, right?
So is that why you don't want to tell people what's going to happen?
No, I don't know what's going to happen. I can tell you what the cards say, but if it doesn't happen, I don't want you to come after me.
But you can't predict likely future events?
I could, yeah.
You could?
I honestly, I believe I could. If I've done it for me, mind you, right? What you're told you look for in life, your brain is looking for it. If you can define something, your brain will go after it because you can define it, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I don't like telling people like what is to come, but this is your energy. This is the energy to come, right? But again, don't focus on what's coming. Focus on what you're going to do about it, how you respond, how you react. But of course, they're going to take it as, oh my God, I'm going to meet someone. No, if you got butterflies, girl, that's cockroaches. It's not a good feeling. Like, look what I'm telling you, you know? Yeah. And they don't listen sometimes.
Yeah. But what I found very surprising was that it's in high demand from men.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's very cool.
And the thing is, they will do it in private. Yeah. Like they'll book a meeting room. Yeah. So nobody watches.
Yeah, of course.
Or they do it virtually. So a lot of my male clients are virtual.
Because it's kind of like taboo, no? Right?
Not necessarily. No. There's a lot of masculine. Most of the cards in tarot are men.
Okay.
Just to give you an example. So like a woman doesn't necessarily always resonate with the card because it's always a man portrayed. Okay. Right. And then who created tarot? The artwork was by a woman. Well, the tarot, the Rider-Waite deck, the one that's popular now. A woman drew it. Men took it and claimed it. 2 men. So
how very cool. How did you like learn all the, like, is this part, it was part of your masters to learn tarot and Reiki?
No, that was my on my own. Reiki is something I didn't even stumble. It's something I couldn't escape in a way. I got in a car accident basically, 2020.
Okay.
And from the healing process, like I would see like flashes behind my eyelids. So I closed my eyes. I had a concussion. I couldn't work for 6 months. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't read, nothing.
No way.
It wasn't bad. Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. And then one day I went back to work. This is a completely different job.
No, go on.
I went back to work and I'm driving, middle of summer. I'm not feeling good. And I'm at a light and I have my hands on the wheel and I put my hands down. I look and I see green around my hands.
Oh, wow.
And I think I'm losing my mind, right? I'm like, am I tripping? Is this hormones?
Yeah.
Was something laced that I ate, Put my hands up in the sun, nothing. I said, okay, maybe I am losing my mind. I put my hands back down and it comes back. So it's this game of nothing, it's there. Nothing, it keeps going back and forth.
No way.
So I go to this metaphysical shop I eventually work at.
Yeah.
And I tell her, I was like, girl, I think I'm losing it. She doesn't say a single word. She walks over and shows me a Reiki book. I say, that's BS. I'm leaving.
Okay.
And eventually everything just started telling me like energy work, right? Your algorithms start like, oh, look at this. You know what I mean? I didn't even say it out loud. So that's how I got into Reiki. Tarot kept being shoved in my face because of work. So I'm not familiar. People ask me to look at this. What do you think of this? I don't know. I really cannot tell you anything. Like I say, this girl loves her bird. And then she found a guy with a fish in his cup from the artwork, right? But I didn't understand.
Okay.
And they were very big on selling it. By the way,
the witchcraft store.
Yes.
Okay.
I call it. It's
the
technically, yeah. Okay. But just so you know, where you buy your cards from is also where you buy tarot from. It's the same companies that print them. So you buy cards. We sell cards. We sell all kinds of decks. Yeah, based off different philosophies, even. Like I have a deck that reminds me of Oman, the artwork and stuff like that, But the idea is that I kept getting shoved in my face. If I want to be able to sell the product, right, sales, I have to know what I'm selling.
Of course.
I have to convince the person. And then someone's like, well, what cards should I add with my altar?
Okay.
I don't know, girl. Like, I can't help you, put the lovers. Everyone love, right? I'm like, I don't know. So I had to learn a lot of things that I don't apply today to sell things. So like tarot is not my main aim.
No.
But it's how I make 90% of my money.
But like, did you learn all these things enough to be able to coach people on that? Like, doesn't it take
metaphysics? I think so.
Yeah, of course.
I believe that.
Of course.
But I don't teach tarot.
No,
I don't teach tarot. I had an idea that everyone's like, do it, which is make an Almani version of tarot. So it's like Almani, I do know.
Version.
So like all the artwork is reflective of our culture.
So it can be done that way.
Yeah, there's done in many different ways. It's just artwork at the end. It's just symbolic.
Okay.
So that's something to think about.
No, I don't mean like teaching tarot. I mean like enough to use it to give people readings, right? Like, I mean, why? Like, for example, like why should somebody go to someone for a tarot reading rather than kind of like finding out about it on their own? Unless the person who's reading has a certain kind of expertise, right?
Yes.
So you have that level of expertise?
If anything, I've had years, I would say 3+ years of using it with myself and doing like with my friends and family.
Okay.
And so far, every reading I've done has never not resonated with people. So I'm done. I'm doubting everything I said because who am I to know what's going on in your life? And they're like, no, you're absolutely accurate. I did one right before I came here.
Yeah. Excellent.
And this is someone who is in like New Jersey. I haven't spoken to her in a really long time, so I don't know what's going on. She didn't tell me anything. And I told her like A, B, C, D, F, G. And she's like, well, this one I don't resonate with, this one card. And then she kept explaining what was going on, why she doesn't agree with the card. I said, well, view it in this perspective versus what I just said. I cannot hit the hammer on the nail, whatever, But sometimes I do say things like things come out of my mouth that they are like, ugh, because like they just heard that from the person, for example, who's involved in the situation. So I say things that they think with no mind reason, like there's no proper explanation.
No.
But again, like even with people who don't believe, I'm very shocked. I had this one guy who came with, I know his friend So he came to join his friend and he's like, I want a reading. I said, Halik bilash, I'll do for you for free because you don't believe in it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Just to see, just to like make you laugh, right?
Okay. Just to amuse him.
Just to amuse him, just to like show him, right? And again, your faith will always show up. So I always start with 5 cards. So I pull the first 5 and the first 4 and I flip the deck over to see the last card.
Okay.
And I say the first things and he just grabs his kumma and takes it off. Says nothing. I said, what do you think? He goes, keep going. I said, I keep going. And he's like speechless. And at some point we're maybe 40 cards in.
Yeah.
And mutahammis, he's excited because of what he's hearing, right? And he, 2 weeks later, got a hold of my contact and said, by the way, everything you said happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I don't say it's going to happen.
No, it's very, very interesting. It's very cool. But there's also this thing called the Barnum effect.
Barnum effect?
Yeah.
Educate me.
So no, it's just, so the counter to this, is that there's a lot of vague, kind of roughly vague statements, okay, that can apply to a lot of people that you can connect. So like I could say like, you have a slightly outgoing, energetic person, elder person in your life who is not a direct family member, but they've kind of influenced you and you looked up to them. And when you were like 12, you had an experience that completely changed everything and made you less trusting of people. Okay, like it's a very wishy-washy, vague statement. And by the way, I use these similar tools in my routines. But what I do is theater, right? It's not, which is funny because a lot of people, and again, especially females, they like to see the routines that are like kind of psychological, or when you're reading what a person is thinking, and then they come and say like, oh, can you like tell me a bit about my fortune? And so I'm like, no, I don't. Yeah. If I knew any of that, guys, you wouldn't see me here right now. I would be floating. I would be floating in the clouds. Like I wouldn't be doing this.
First angel.
Yeah. So, but anyway, besides that, but I do use those similar techniques. But so apparently, there's vague statements that can apply to a lot of people that you can like resonate. But is there any of that, or is it? I mean,
for example, I don't ever pull one card. Now, if I do that on live, I look at it. Something comes to my mind and I say it, and it might not even be what the card means, but for some reason I say your name, I pull this card, it flies out, I don't pull it jumps out of the deck, and I say it, and they're like, oh my God, that is so accurate. What the hell do I know from one card about what you're going through right now? But like tarot is like math. X plus Y plus Z plus this squared equals this, right? So it's not even just very vague. By looking at what the elements are, what the symbols are, what the big themes are, I can put together a story, a narrative, right? And again, I might not get every detail, but am I too vague? No, I'm very specific about how you're acting, how you're thinking, how you're feeling.
It's very, very interesting, wallah. So how does it work? Like, it's a bunch of cards.
It's a bunch of cards.
Yeah. And then there's artwork, right? Yes. As you said, it's symbolic.
I think of it, yeah.
But it's like, I guess it's like a channel through something that is actually metaphysical, right?
What? What do you mean?
like the cards are just a vessel.
Yeah, it's like our phones we use to communicate. Yeah, it's just I don't do anything special to them.
But how can you use these symbols to tell deep things about somebody? So is there like interdimensional beings? There's jinn,
No, I ain't got time for that. To like sit there and connect with them and be like, can you help me? No, I don't have time.
But some people can do that.
Some people do that. Some people, I don't ever get readings done to me often. I don't get Reiki done. I don't do external work. It's all internal. And I go to people.
So that would have been what I just mentioned is external.
No. Like if you came to me for a reading, you're coming to someone else for validation, right? But whenever I've gone to a reader for something, there's one reader I go to occasionally, twice, not occasionally, and she would like, when I was channeling you, I saw A B C D E F G, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You know, and I tell my dad, he's like, oh yeah, I know what she's talking about. And I'm like, what? What does it have to do with me? But the cards are like percentages. You have 1 through ace through 10, right?
Yeah.
To me, those are percentages of beginning, which means more freedom. 10 is done. Khlas, cycle has ended daily.
Okay.
Then you have page, knight, queen, king. This is development. This is maturity,
And
right?
this is one form of tarot.
All tarot is like this.
All tarot has this kind of categorization.
Yes. Now, anything that's not tarot that has like messages and numbers is called oracle. Tarot is a specific philosophy. So when you get to the people, the knights and queens and kings, it's about maturity. It's about development in a process and a thinking and action, right? It's when you said the horse thing. I was like, what else do you know about it? I'm curious because I haven't dealt with cards, you know?
Yeah.
And then you have those major ones. So the magician, the high priestess, those big cards.
The magician is what?
Is the first card in the deck. Technically, it's number 1. And it's about having all the tools you need and using your intention and your will to do whatever you want. But again, if your intention or willpower is ill, you're going to get ill, right? But there's like 0 through I don't know how many, 24. They're associated with planets, zodiacs. I don't know that because I don't really care. But I care about what they mean, what they signify, what is the advice, the insight to the card. And it's all through symbolism. So there's cups for emotion, pentacles for dunya, material world. There's swords for logic. I think of swords in the brain. Logic hurts. It's not in the kind often. And then you have wands, which is action and growth. Right. And then I see like all the tools, how it's used or how those symbols, those elements are used in the major, those those big energy cards. But also when you understand what the card is about and you understand what like crescent moon means, when you understand what an owl means, what a pomegranate means, when you understand what a fox means, when you see things in the corners, like everything, even down to the background matters. So I could focus on like, for example, the house in the back and I could say, this is very personal to you. I have no idea why I think that. And they're like, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
No, so basically, I get all that. That's very interesting. But my point is like, how can I say this? Like, how can these cards, which are symbols, how can you use them to tell things about people? Like, you get my question?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Like,
how can I really could not explain how the cards come out. They just, stuff happens. You know,
so
it's not really.
So it's like they call it divination, right?
Yeah, but I'm not doing it. Divination has to do with working with something divine, right? And I'm only working with, I'm monotheistic, you could say, one, right? Yeah, not multiple. And so again, I'm not saying, Allah, please, right? I'm just like, whatever this person needs to hear will come out. And
but how does it, you don't know how it
everybody
works.
has different ways of doing it. No, right? That's the thing though. Nobody does tarot the same.
Like how can a person shuffle a bunch of cards and then it tells information about another person? How?
Synchronization, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, yeah.
It's very cool. It's very interesting. I just don't know. I'm very curious.
If you want to try one day.
Yes, of course. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I did a second one. Okay. So besides the first one, which was recent, there's a lady who I know and I met her through work. And I was pitching her, business ideas, like basically for, a bunch of stuff. But part of it was my performance, okay? Because she works in the marketing team at a company, but she also does tarot, okay? Which was a major plot twist because I was hired at a party and it was like a carnival themed party, vintage carnival. I was hired and she was also hired. And they were like, oh, and I didn't know. They were like, oh, there's a tarot reading. I'm like, okay, let me go do it. And it was that lady.
That's funny.
But hers wasn't as engaging as the French guy on a couple of years ago. Maybe because back then I was more, intrigued by these things. Now I'm just like, I'm very dunyawi now. I'm just like business. Let me work and let me make money.
That's funny.
Yeah, and it's back and forth, but it's part of the divine.
It's your path.
Yeah, of course you have to go between phases, between like more spiritual and then more.
I agree.
More matrix, because you need that detachment, reattachment.
You're a pendulum.
Yeah,
swing.
Yeah, exactly. So, but she did pull out a card and she said, "Yeah, you are the magician."
That's funny. Yeah. So basically, you know how to use what you got.
Yeah.
With the tools you've picked up on the path.
Which is a mad one.